Today on Roblox Tower Heroes, I'm going to be seeing which tower is actually the absolute worst in terms of damage inside of this game, and which one does the most amount of damage. Make sure to stay until the end because the results may shock you. We're saying that in faith. Alright, so let's go ahead and explain how this whole thing is going to work today. We're here on one of the most simple maps inside of Tower Heroes, Bleak Barrens, which is literally just a straight path right here. And we're going to be testing every single attack tower inside of this game to see which one does the most amount of damage and which one does the absolute least. So there won't be any towers like Bite, Discount Dog, or even El Goblino inside of here because those are all technically support towers. Summoners are also not going to be counted unless you count Beatrice and Stella because I'm going to add those. We're also going to be giving each of the towers that we test a little bit of help from the Spectre and the Balloon Pal, both at max level. This is just level 1 right now, of course. We won't be using any bomb floats from these things, but we will be using, however, one of the Spectre rate boosts during some of this time. But they cannot get more than one. That's going to be against the rules. So let's go ahead and put down a Spectre and a Balloon Pal, probably right about here in the middle. That looks about right. And the first tower we've got going for us today is going to be Beebo. Let's see how he does against the Blast Tech Brawler. And of course, just because it's sandbox mode, we aren't going to be adding or subtracting the amount of towers that you can actually place inside of the game on a regular match. So you can only place 6 Beebos regularly, so we're only going to be putting 6 here today. Alright, we've got our test Bolton Brawler right here, so we're going to go ahead and just see how much damage this Beebo actually does at the very end. Let's go ahead and fire that Spectre rate boost to see how he's going to do. Okay, so just with Beebo right there and one Spectre rate boost along with an extra Balloon Pal, Beebo was able to get the Molten Brawler from 1 million health down to 960,576 health. That's not too bad for one attack tower and 2 supports. Now obviously there are many more attack towers inside of this game, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of a time lapse to show you the results at the very end so you don't have to sit and watch this whole process over and over again. And after a lot of testing, we finally have a list of the most powerful attack towers and the least powerful attack towers inside of Tower Heroes. At number 20 on the list, this should shock nobody at all, but we have Beatrice. Yes, Beatrice came in last place. It is proven once again that Beatrice is indeed the worst tower in the game. She ended up doing about 4,500 damage to this boss. That is puny. Just to give you a perspective of how puny this is, Balloon Pal can do more damage than this with a single bomb float. Oh my goodness, this thing needs a revamp. Now, coming in at number 19, this one actually shocked me quite a bit. We actually have the Haze Tower coming in at number 19. Haze only did approximately 13,000 damage to the Blast Tech Brawler. He has infinite range, but he summons these crows at max level, and I really thought he was pretty good. You know, I'm starting to regret putting this tower at the A tier on my tier list video that I made. Which, by the way, if you want to check that out, click this video right up here in the corner. Coming in at number 18, we have the Firework Thrower, I guess that's what you want to call her, Voka right here, who is coming in at number 18 on this list. She did approximately 25,300 damage to the boss. This one's kind of shocking, kind of not. I knew she wasn't the best tower in the game. I definitely think there would have been some other towers that took her place right here, but I mean, hey, I'm not totally surprised at least. At number 17, we have possibly the most adorable tower in the entire game of Tower Heroes coming in, and that is going to be Hot Dog Frank. This one definitely did not surprise me at number 17. I know it's mostly an attack tower for enemies, definitely not bosses to say the least. But between 12, or I think it's actually 11 of them, that you can place at max level, he did 27,400 damage to the boss, which in my eyes is actually not that bad because he's really not used as a tower to take down bosses. Good job, Hot Dog Frank. Now talk about a turn of events. Coming in at the 16th place, we have Keith. Wow, I really thought that this tower was much worse than it actually is, but I guess between, like, what is it, 8 of these things you can place, it actually does decent. It's definitely not the best. It only did about 29,400 damage to the boss, which is only a little bit more than Hot Dog Frank. Let me ask you a question real quick. What's so special about the number 27? Well, other than it being the day that my birthday falls on in June, it's the amount of damage that separated these next 2 towers on the placement board. That's right, these next 2 towers were closer than any of them on this entire list today. 3, coming in with a 27 damage difference between the two of them. And the tower that came off on the losing side of this right here is Soda Pop, who ended up having a total damage toward the Blast Tech Brawler of 32,032. I honestly thought Soda Pop would have performed a little bit better today, but I mean 32,000 damage is quite a lot. But lo and behold, the tower that ended up beating the Soda Pop by only 27 damage is this one right here, Volt. Yeah, that's right, Volt is better than Soda Pop by 27 damage. Volt did indeed come in place number 14 on this list with a total of 32,059 damage. That is insane. Now we have yet again another adorable tower in this game, which can actually pack a lot of punch. That is Bunny. Bunny ended up doing approximately 34,000 damage to the Blast Tech Brawler, which is pretty good for a little bunny that is probably the cheapest tower in the game. Now, I've had a lot of things in life shock me, and especially a lot of things inside of Tower Heroes, and even on this list today shocked me, but I don't think anything shocked me as much as this next tower we have on the list, which is coming in at number 12. That is Branch. Yeah, that's right, friends. Branch did not even make the top 10 on the damage board. What in the world? But when it came to attacking a boss all by itself with just a Spectre and a Balloon Pal, it ended up doing about 37,000 damage. And if you're into that lore between Quinn and Branch, this one could just throw a bit of a plot twister into the mix, because Quinn actually did 700 more damage in total than Branch. Yeah, that's right. The arch nemesis of Branch ended up doing 37,700 damage approximately in her battle between the Blast Tech Brawler. Before we reveal to you the best top 10 towers inside of the game that do the most damage, if you enjoy good Tower Heroes content just like I do, make sure to like and subscribe to Super Short Central. Not saying that you'll find it here, I'll let you be the judge of that. But now that you're subscribed to Super Short Central, hopefully, we're gonna go ahead and fly over here to meet the number 10 contestant, and that is right up here. This is the Frost King, also known as Fracture. Fracture ended up doing only 100 more damage than Quinn, however, so it's very close to it at 37,800. We already touched a little bit on Beebo earlier, but he did end up coming in at 9th place on this list with 39,400-ish damage. And again, very close to Beebo, we have at number 8 Sparks Kilowatt, who actually ended up doing just a little bit over 100 damage more than Beebo, coming in at 39,540 damage. That's quite impressive for this tower. I'm still kind of blown that Sparks Kilowatt is in the top 10 and Branch isn't. And coming in at number 7, the number of completion, we have the mad scientist herself, Scientist, coming in at this place. Scientist ended up doing a whopping 40,600 damage. That is pretty good for one tower and a couple supports. Coming in at number 6, we have the Lure Tower, but I actually don't own this one, so let's just go ahead and put a picture of it right here. There we go. It ended up doing a total of 42,100 damage, thanks to my brother for letting me borrow it from his account. We have officially reached the top 5 attack towers inside of the game, and I am very pleased to announce that one of my all-time favorite towers, Wafer, has made it to the top 5. He came in at 5th place, doing a whopping total of 44,000 damage approximately to the tower. This is actually quite significant to me because, one, this tells me that this tower does more damage than Lure, or Scientist, or Branch, meaning it's better than all of those in a sense. And this also proves that Wafer is also the most powerful attack tower out of all of the event attack towers. Congratulations, Wafer, I knew you would dominate. And then making quite a huge leap ahead, we have coming in at number 4, the Chef. Wait, Chef, you're a starter tower. What are you doing up here in the top 5? Yeah, that's right. One of the free towers inside of Tower Heroes actually came in doing a whopping 72,700 damage toward the boss. That's quite a lot, especially for a free tower. Approaching the top 3, we have the Wizard, or the Noob in this instance today. Wait, Wizard, you're another starter tower. What are the starter towers doing in the top 5? And this tower, of course, with its magic buffs done up and all of that stuff to level 5, it did a whopping 89,600 damage. What in the world did the devs do to these starter towers. And why are we not using them? The tower coming in at second place is the warrior himself, Yasuke, who ended up doing 97,000 damage approximately to the Blast Tech Brawler. Boy, this guy is quite the beast. And then coming in at number 1 on today's list for the attack towers, this is Stella. And oh my goodness, she blew the others out of the water in terms of damage. In fact, she dominated so much that she did more damage than 6 branches and 5 scientists combined. Stella did a whopping total of 159,900 damage, the only tower in this entire thing today that does over 100,000 damage inside of the game. And if you need a video to watch to be able to learn how to use this most powerful tower inside of the game, I'd recommend you click this video right here, which I've selected for you on the side of your screen, and let's continue to have some Tower Heroes fun and dominate these enemies.